as we kick in for today's session. The team's a bit injured, but processing themselves, getting some healing, popping their levels up. Good times. If you all wanted to take some rest and some downtime to do some healing after that last fight, which also gave you a level, by all means you can mix that in. There's also the piles of debris and treasure that they had piled up in the back corner. As I may have said, there were some goodies to be had. And I go on record saying, did I expect the players to run right into the face of the big boss first? No, but it happens. Still got lots left for them, though, so you know.
The vaccine will help everyone get off that. So excuse me, almost choking on my own breath here. I get off the railway.
Yeah, that's true. Before we do anything, we'll have to clear off.
Oh yeah. Now, as I like to say, you have the advantage of time on your hands. So there's no rush getting across that rail. It was strong enough, after all, to support the fight that you all had to endure. So you've got no trouble moving your tokens off of there.
So how does short rests work in Pathfinder? I forget.
There's no like short rest button. We
do heal checks over and over.
Just do like treat wound checks. Because they take 10 minutes to do treat wounds. So it's kind of just however long like we have in-game time, but Alan just said we've got the advantage of time, so we can probably take pretty long time to do it.
The basic way, which limits you once per hour per usage, it takes 10 minutes, so it kinda looks like a short rest.
Yeah.
But since it only takes 10 minutes, you can stack it between fights, but the medicine check. Anybody trained in medicine can attempt to treat wounds. Usually gets you back 2d8 health, I believe. Multiple rests per multiple hours and all that sort of stuff.
Nestri has that continual recovery feat. So
I can do it every 10 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, the medicine check for that is usually DC, but they specifically state the GM might adjust it based on the circumstances, like treating someone outside in a storm or magically cursed wounds. I don't have anything to make this any worse for you. I'm not so cruel.
I'll start with myself.
Alrighty. So we'll just count the number of checks and then increase the clock by that time once we're done.
Okay.
Because with time on your side, with the ability to bunker down up here, as you might be worried about retribution from those pirates that ran into the smog, could be an issue, which is why I'm counting. Oh, so that's 2d8 for Nestri.
Nice.
Now, do you want me to roll the 2d8s and immediately apply them to save you from doing that step?
Yeah, that'd be great, actually, and then I can just keep rolling.
Alrighty. Ooh, I rolled good. So that's 2d8 health back for one success.
I'll do another one. Ooh, that's not great.
That's a fail. So no healing on that one.
Okay.
That is a nice feat to
Oh, no.
So
take.
that's
2 fails.
we're at half an hour already.
Yeah.
45 minutes now.
I'm going to, just while Nestri's tending her own wounds, I'll attempt to treat my wounds with my natural medicine feat I took.
Get one
And
of those
if
an hour, is
anyone
it, or
wants me to give them a try while she's healing, I could give it a shot. But then again, you will all remember me almost killing myself.
No, this is only. I've only rolled 3.
Yep.
So that's only 30 minutes because it's 10 minutes.
Oh, it's 10 minutes, not 15, right? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
13 minutes so far.
Okay. I'll roll. I'll do just a full hour's worth. So 3 more.
That's the feat I took on just to, so we can attempt multiple checks.
That should work.
Nature instead of medicine to treat wounds. That's nice. Now you're still stuck only being able to do that once per hour, though.
Yep.
Alrighty.
But I figured if well, Nestry's going to be rolling for at least an hour, I will probably become I'll probably lose that immunity.
So the nifty thing here is you are playing the Random Bullshit Go class, as you may recall. So just while she's rolling through those, oh, she got another success, so that's 4 successes. 2 successes,
No.
2 fails.
Yeah.
You know, 4 rolls total. Give me one of those knowledge checks for your character, Devaxian.
Your thing.
Damn it.
Esoteric.
And don't get me wrong, anybody can attempt things during this hour. We're sort of just stepping through the characters one at a time here. So what I might do every time we go through the hour pitch, if everybody wants to do something like Dean's doing with the vaccine for the heal up. As you're looking around desperately in the middle of a cave for something of the sort, you see an odd black fungus. Taking it off the wall, you realize this is a wonderful salve that you can apply to wounds. That'll grant you +2 on your check.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
There's no natural resources in the area to just give it to you, but you know what? Random bullshit go.
I imagine the visual must be quite upsetting for Nestry and Deacon, who are trained in actual medicine, to just see the vaccine grab some fungus and start mushing it onto an open wound. Right. Oh, I fail, but I don't critically fail.
Just looking at your teammates like, this really does work, look! And just holding out the arm, and you all see, like, it's sticky.
I almost got it, but oh well.
Maybe I should take this fast recovery thing. I didn't pick it. I forgot to pick my feats before I started rolling.
And another 2d8 for Nestry that I forgot to... Oh. Sorry.
It's okay.
I rolled bad.
Oh, how bad?
Oh, I got like 3 points
Bit
of
of a
damage.
healing. Bit of a healing. Alright, I'm good enough now, I think. But, will you... I mean, it sounds like a good idea right now. I feel a bit bad because I've already done it, but your fast recovery, your body quickly bounces back from afflictions. You regain twice as many hit points from resting. Is that like a long rest
bedtime.
though?
Yeah.
Like a long rest,
gotcha.
yeah.
All right, I'll keep looking. I have a feat that I haven't taken. Like I haven't picked my second feat yet. I was in the middle of doing it, and then Dean and I started talking about my character, and I realized I had been doing, like, there was a better way for me to be using my spell strikes.
Oh, fair.
And I just, we got distracted by that for a while.
How many medicine checks has Nestry rolled?
I've rolled an hour. I specifically rolled 6,
Yep.
and then
All right.
stopped so that everyone else would have a chance to say what they do within that hour.
Yep.
Cool.
Line up
Yeah,
and
I'm
wait for their
also
turn.
gonna give myself a medicine check. See if I can avoid killing myself.
We can see the power of that ward medic feat now. Like for 6 checks from Nestry, the vaccine and Deacon get 1. It's pretty strong when you see it in action.
All right, that's 2d8 points back for Deacon. You want to
Yay,
give those a
and I
roll.
did use my nanite surge because it's been about an hour since the last time I used it.
Yep, you can use one of those every time you roll for healing, since you only get 1 an hour, so that works perfect.
Yeah, so I think if we're going to keep doing medicine checks at the start of the next hour. Next should probably focus on Deacon or Phoenix because they're more heart.
Well, yeah, I was gonna switch to somebody else whenever I
Now there is one small extra thing that we missed actually from treat wounds that I bring up since we got a pass for both Devaxian and Deacon. You can continue treating a target that you've succeeded to grant additional healing. If you treat them for a total of an hour, you instead double the hit points that you would have just regained from treat wounds. I'm assuming you're going to heal yourselves up for that full hour too, right?
Oh yeah.
So that
No,
means...
I failed my check.
Yep. Double healing for Deacon, because I'll add another 9 on that way. So that's the only advantage you get solo. If you've got the time to sit for an hour, whatever you roll on your treat wounds is doubled. You get twice it. Now, clearly, Nestri is... She's jumping through over and over and over, so that doesn't apply. And I'll be honest, I only just read it half a second ago and said, oh, right, yeah. Anytime I can help out with healing, you know it.
Oh, yeah. Does treat wounds, does it say anything about reducing the wounded condition?
Let me see. I believe there's a way to go through that. And let me just double check. Alright, it is 15, so I'm just scrolling back for a quick second here, because I also ripped off two of Nestri's rolls. Because you rolled critical successes with your 26. So that means you get an additional 2d8 on both of those, so that's 4d8 total for the ones that rolled over. I was double checking on that 23, but it's a DC 25, so...
Oh, sweet.
Nestri gets an additional 17 points, so you're definitely healed back up to max.
Amazing, thank you.
Catching the small rules when they're desperately needed. Don't get me wrong. Critical healing makes a difference. So, Dan, were you going to be trying some healing for your character as well for the hour?
I was going to ask the group first. Is there anything that needs to be repaired? Since we have the hour, I could crafting repair something.
I don't think so. If I remember right, Deacon didn't use his shield because it would break straight away for the whole fight.
Yeah, I just used it to boost my AC. I did not use it to reduce damage because the few times I could do it, it would have been immediately broken.
Yeah, so I think
I was just asking. One of the feats I took was assurance. So I can just choose to take 10 on crafting, which would give me a 22 for crafting, which in most cases is a success.
I'm getting flashbacks to Jade here.
There's something about assurance. You don't get your full modifier.
No. Oh, sorry. Right. That would give me an 18, and I believe in most cases at our level, 15 is success.
For a lot of the chunk, 15. That's your crossover for things.
Assurance is...
I'd have to look up this chats though for construction, crafting and repairing because I don't know them off the top of my head. I'll be honest.
Assurance though gets really strong though. Like, see, like if you get like assurance medicine, like a little higher level than us, it's like just auto heals. So it's a good investment.
If I took assurance medicine now, I would get a roll of 16 automatically.
Ooh, yeah. That's like with because you'd get a 10. Well, if you roll a 19, you double your healing because you pass by 10 or more and you get a crit success.
All right, if nothing needs to be repaired, I'll try and kill myself.
So you go... is that a reliable talent style thing where if you roll worse than 10, you get the 10?
No, I just picked to take 10.
Ah, you're going to take 10?
Yeah. No, that's for crafting only.
Oh, crafting only. Gotcha.
You pick assurance, and then you got to pick which skill you want it for, but you have to be trained in the skill. And I was like, I could take medicine, which guarantees the healing, but if I take the crafting one, since I'm the one boosting crafting, it might be better.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe what I will take is ward medic. I just had it up. I don't know where it disappeared to, but anytime I use treat wounds, I can treat up to 2 people. So that could be really powerful when combined with continual recovery. I don't know, where did it go? Expert in medicine. I am, though. I took expert in medicine. Path builder's just being silly.
Had that Pathfinder off and add that skill in.
I don't know if it's something you'd want to do just now, but when you're an expert in medicine, you can increase the DC of your medicine check, and then I think you can double. You get like a flat boost to the amount of health points that you heal.
What was that, Dean? Sorry, I got distracted because I figured out what I did wrong.
Yep, as an expert in medicine, what Dean was bringing up.
Okay.
You can instead change your DC to 20, and if you see your rolls, that's still a tight margin for you. With a DC of 20, you would get a bonus 10 points on healing, 2d8 plus 10.
Is that a feat, you said?
No, as an expert,
No.
you can just do that.
Oh, interesting.
Now, I don't know if that would pay off too much right now, but from what I can see, because it also stacks Master and Legendary as well. At the point that you can attempt Master grade DCs, Expert grade DCs are going to be simple for you, right? So I imagine you do that anyway. But looking at your dice rolls for your healing, because you're going to be doing a fair bit of healing between the fights, you got an 11 on one, a 26, 24, and a 26. You would have had 3 successes exactly the same as you did now. The only difference is you would have gained an extra 30 health versus the 17 you got for the critical successes.
Yeah, I
Or
gotcha.
14.
Well, like, friggin' Forge, it's like feast or famine. You're either rolling 2s or 3s, or you're rolling like 18, 19, 20. Like, there's nothing in between.
No.
There's no, like, middle of the line roll.
I even rebooted the table
Yeah.
today and it didn't make a difference.
I will go over to the 2 gentlemen, and because I took Ward Medic, I can treat both of them. So let me read this to make sure I'm using it correctly. You studied in large medical wards, treating several patients at once and tending to all of their needs. When you use treat disease or treat wounds, you can treat up to 2 targets. If you're a master in medicine, you can treat up to 4, and if you're legendary, you can treat up to 8.
Soon you'll be healing the whole team between fights.
I could, yeah. So I think I'll do that for
And
now.
let's be honest, when Nestri look over and see the vaccine just slathering himself in black moldy fungus, you're like, okay, might have to heal you a lot more in a second.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Hour 2.
Hour 2. I'll watch and see how this goes.
And I don't think there's anything... Oh, never mind, right. So while she's healing the both of you, you cannot heal yourselves. Her ability stack, I gotta read quickly. That feature of yours that lets you use treat wounds over and over. Does it just let you ignore the... what's the name of that one? I'll just read it.
It makes them continual recovery. It makes them immune for only 10 minutes as opposed to an hour to the treat wounds condition.
Because I don't think they can help.
Ill,
I don't
whatever.
think they can do their own still.
Yeah, so while Nestri healed
Yep.
herself in the first hour, everyone attempted their own like heal check.
Oh, it's
So in
even
the
worded it. They slapped it right at the end, Dean. I gotta tip my hat. This applies only to your treat wounds activities, not any others the patient receives.
Yeah.
Oh, bless them.
So so that's why if Nestri's busy, then we'll try and heal ourselves. Otherwise, we're better off waiting for her.
Yep. Oh,
So
love
I
that.
think that works, right? Like, you guys, 20 passes, right?
Yes, the DC is
Yep.
15.
So
Unless you
that's-
said you were increasing it.
Oh, were you
The
running the
next-
15 or the 20 DC?
I didn't state it, so I'm just gonna say it was the 15 DC.
Alrighty. Now you can shoot for either with any given roll. So,
I think my next one I'll go for 20.
all right, because you've just healed back. 12 points of damage to either of them.
Okay.
After healing herself, Nestri looking over like, oh, I understand it completely. See that corkscrew
Come
attack
on.
it makes? Rends the flesh just like this.
Yes! That was a
Oh,
reference for Dean and
goodness.
Dean only. You guys get an additional 10. Babies.
Oh, that reminds. I didn't actually give the additional 10 last time. So.
Oh, I didn't state it last time. Last time I hadn't stated it, so I assumed it was the regular DC of 15. This time I said I was going to do the DC
Yep.
10.
You did.
Yeah. Or DC 20, I mean. And for the next... So it's only been 20 minutes, so I'll go over and I'll do Devaxian.
The vaccine is reaching for more fungus. A
No!
hand
No!
grabs his wrist.
No. I'm going to do just a regular DC 15.
All right.
I swear it will work.
Yes. It makes sense because in Nestri's backstory, I talked about how she had a bunch of odd jobs, so she could have worked as a nurse somewhere for a little while.
Now, here's the only thing, though.
Mhm.
I'm going on the technical side of the ruling for a brief moment to remind that you can affect up to 2 creatures with that treat wounds, and Phoenix is a 37 out of 40.
I mean, I thought he was full, honestly, so
We'll make
if you
sure.
allow it, I'll say...
I
Sure.
kind of figured, because it almost looks cruel on the bar when you're 3 off at 40. You know, Dan, I got your back.
If I had known that he wasn't completely full, I would have included him in this check. That's what I will say.
I kind of figured.
He's
Don't get me
unconscious.
wrong.
Yeah.
Now, Devaxian's almost good, because you're rolling real nice on these checks so far. It's only taken another half an hour to get
Yeah,
this
it's only been
point.
half an hour. Yeah, do you want another one, Dean? Try
Yes,
again?
yes, please.
Okay.
If we only need 10 minutes, so
Yeah. This one, I will stick with the regular DC.
All right.
Oh, it's so close. Sorry.
He's just holding the cave moss out towards you. Maybe try some of this under
I yeah.
She jerks away at the last second and drops all the bandages she had in her hand.
Oh gosh.
God damn it, Max. You want me to do one more? That'll take us to 50 minutes, almost 2 hours.
Probably, given how we all came pretty close there, we should probably, if we're not under time pressure, we should probably try and get to full.
Okay. This is, again, the regular DC.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Watch me roll ones. No, I rolled 2 7s.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Whole team
awesome.
Back up to full. Now, it's been a little bit, like you said, about an hour and a half since you fought the others. You're all looking much better patched up now with your health restored, because there's one thing I like with the treat wounds system. In between fights, if you've got a moment to sit back and say, oh shit, what was that? You can actually get yourself back to a good point. Which means well-equipped enemies can do the same as well. Or, you know, if you've ever played, like, the Diablo game series, when you run in and attack an enemy and then you get overwhelmed by 7 and you run away, and then you come back, their health is fully restored, you're like, damn it! I mean, you too, but, you know. There's a nice crossover with that stuff.
Hopefully it takes the enemies longer. Hopefully none of them are ward medics.
Just got one pirate slowly sliding the glasses up on their nose, like, ha ha ha.
I mean, they did go into that gassy place, so I don't know if they'd be able to heal that well.
Maybe they're immune to the gas.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Maybe, you know what, I'm going to add to my inventory before we look at any of the treasure. Black healing alleged black healing fungus.
You'll pull that out later, it's going to be grown into a full mushroom. In the bag it goes. Character finds a Ziploc bag in there. You're like, I have no idea how we got cellophane-style plastic in this world, but yeah, I gotta keep this away from the rest of the world.
Oh, I've got quite the collection of stuff already.
It does make for entertaining such. Eventually, I'm gonna give you lightning in a bottle. I gotta figure out a way to put that into the story now and not sound too convoluted, but it's gonna happen. Funny thing is, you find a ship in a bottle, you'll be like, oh, I know how they did this. This, you just, you start from the inside and build up, and the wizard just looks at you like, ha ha ha, you're close.
My
Alan.
favorite. Oh,
No, you go ahead. Mine's not important.
neither's mine. I was just gonna say one of my favorite bits of Parks and Rec is when Andy's playing with the ship in the bottle, and he's like, I got it out, and he gets it out in one piece.
Oh, wow.
And the guy's like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. And he's like, yeah, right?
You're recording, right, Alan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
I can pause for a sec. 1 sec. And pause. So then, one other point of note and interest of fun stuff here. Treasure. You're all healed up. Nestry's got the team practically back on their feet. Fully healed up, little worn, and up to level 4. Since you took out what's the strongest enemy I have to throw directly at you. Singular encounter, mind you. You've got some boxes to check, and then whether or not you're going to go through that smog after the ones who ran away.
I mean, I would personally love to finish the job because I didn't like those guys very much, but maybe we can go get treasure first and keep an eye out.
Pirates.
See if we can find some more equipment that might help us finish the job better.
Oh! Would it be possible for me to recover some arrows? I meant to ask at the end of last session, but I was internally screaming, so I was distracted.
I'll let half of them have recovered. The other ones would have broken striking stone or etc.
Or fall down the hole.
Or fell down the hole, yep.
I think that puts it... I think there were probably about 4 shots fired, so does it seem fair that I would pick up 2?
That sounds good.
Okay. Alright. Sure. Is it...
Yeah, I think the treasure's over.
Yep, just
over in these
piles,
piles.
boxes and good stuff.
The vaccine pulls out a crowbar. Just in case.
Oh, I thought you were using that for the boxes.
Yeah, well, just in case the boxes are nailed shut or whatever, but...
Walking up to the boxes, you go full gangster. Out comes the crowbar just in case someone's messing with us. We're ready for them. Well, as you'd peer over one of the random boxes, taking the edge of that crowbar, slamming it in and twisting up to break free from the nails, you would see inside of this box some generic goodies. Little bits of gold coinage, of course, mixed out with other things.
Sorry
Along
guys,
with-
I'm just gonna BRB.
Oh, sure thing. Along with what looks like some clothing wrapped up on areas. But it does look like some goodies. You could reach in and grab some stuff if you wanted.
Sure.
And as you pop hands in, as you pull them up, the cloak that you find in your hands seems to shimmer oddly in the light, as if refracting it in such a special way for a brief moment. This gaudy and rather extravagant cloak, adorned with brilliant gems and a fur trim,
Ooh. Tabaxian will turn round to Phoenix and go, "Is this magical?"
So, ignoring the magic items and effects of you and your allies, you can sense that cloak he's holding in his hands does register with a hint of magical energy to it.
Yep. I detect magic with it.
Nothing else, though, just that cloak. Mind you, there are other items still in the chest.
Yeah, I think Tabaxian would hand the cloak to Phoenix. Probably assuming that he wants to study it in some capacity and start rifling through what else is there and passing things out like it's Christmas.
Well, as you reach down with your hands, you grab a rather formidable looking mask carved in the visage of a leering demon. It has a ferocious look and a similar shimmer under the light to the cloak. As well, as you're digging through, there are more items, mind you. The next thing to stand out is a badge. One carved from brass, with insignias and markings on it of a dragon and a turtle. Not one you recognize off the top of your head, but definitely a rather fancified badge. And finally, a wand.
Wand.
It has a sort of yellow carvation going through its regular wooden style.
I can't help myself. I think this will be wonderful.
Oh.
It's... Tabaxian takes a d4 of psychic damage.
As he should.
Yeah, well, I'll hand them out to everyone so they can have a look at them.
I will add, as mentioned, when you use detect magic, the only thing you picked up was the cloak.
Yeah, I'm trying to read quick if it's possible how you identify stuff.
You use a skill like Arcana or...
It's like identify magic with the appropriate magical tradition.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Okay.
I took the feat... Where is it? Crafter's Appraisal, so I can use crafting to identify things instead.
Oh, nice. For everybody else, if it's like arcane, that's arcana. Divine would be religion. Occult falls into your occultism, and primal would be nature. For this, you're mostly looking at arcane stuff because, well, it's all magically carved for any of that. Unless, of course, Phoenix leans into that crafting skill of theirs and kicks some butt.
I got Yeah, just let me know if you want me to roll anything. I've got a +6 to Arcana, but I imagine Nestry and Phoenix will be better. Or
Nestry, if I'm remembering correctly, has the quick identify, so it only takes her a minute to try and identify something, whereas it takes me 10. So it's all on how long we want to wait.
yeah, Jillian's just getting back to her computer just now. But yeah, you're right. She has the quick identification.
Hello, sorry about that.
Well, come back.
Ooh, we found some good stuff.
Yep, we found some gold coins, a magic cloak, a leering mask with an image of a demon. Is it a gold badge or a brass badge?
Badge made of brass.
Okay, and a wand.
Mm.
We were going to see if you wanted to do your
Quick identification thing?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I figured that's maybe what you were waiting on. Alright. You can
Alan said-
identify.
I'm gonna lean in on Phoenix for a brief moment, because let's just say maybe your character felt the urge of your player's last character, and you found yourself rifling through that pile of 200 gold pieces. One last item.
200?
Indeed. These are pirates after all. They do a good job robbing from the rich and keeping for themselves.
That's a lot of shekels right there.
Phoenix would find the very last item I have in here. What appears to be a bolt for a crossbow, a piece of ammunition. However, you can see mystic patterns glowing across the side of it that create what can only be described as a magical reservoir within this piece of ammunition. No checks required for this one. You know what you're holding in your hand is a bolt of spell strike ammunition. A wonderful piece of ability. You activate it by casting a spell into the ammunition. Must be of a level that the ammunition can hold, mind you, so that would require some identification to figure out the maximum. And it must be able to target a creature other than the caster. A creature hit by activated spell strike ammunition is targeted by the spell, and so long as it's a valid target for the spell. And it only affects the target hit, even if the spell would normally affect more than one target. And if the spell requires a spell attack roll, use a result of your ranged attack roll with the ammunition to determine the degree of success of the spell. If it needs a savings throw, it's against your spell save DC.
That sounds pretty cool. So that basically lets you like pre-cast the spell in, like at the end of the day or whatever, and kind of like can bank the spell.
Hmm.
There doesn't seem to be any limits on how long you can hold a spell in one of these either. Though, I will point out for Phoenix, give me a quick Arcana check. That was very quick, I gotta admit. With that in mind, your character is well aware that the item you're holding is indeed a very, very powerful magical item. But when you used Detect Magic earlier, the only thing that you sensed was the cloak.
So there's probably nothing in there.
Even without a spell, Spell Strike ammunition is classified as a magical item.
Something is blocking Detect Magic. Oh, now I want to really look through this stuff.
Well, you and Nestry are the brain boxes.
Now you can take 10-minute bounces and give yourself some identifies on these items if you wanted to try it. It's going to be Arcana, or as mentioned for Phoenix, Crafting, because he's got that nice little bonus.
Mm-hmm.
There are essentially 4 items that were dropped off in your possession. That's the other nifty thing with this game system. Whenever I find a few items that are wild like that, oh, I have me some fun throwing them in. And just give me 1 second. I gotta go toss some food into, for Addison. I'll just be a half sec.
No worries.
I'll leave the choice up to you because you can do all 4 items faster than I can do 1.
Yeah. I definitely don't mind doing it. I'll identify all of them.
And if you don't get anything through Arcana, I can try crafting.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so do I roll an Arcana check to do my... I always get it mixed up. Like, I've not had a chance to use it very often.
Sorry, say that again.
You can identify magic quickly. So do I have to roll an Arcana check then to identify it? Okay. Come on, Nestry.
Alright, let's see those Arcana checks.
Okay.
That's 1 success. Two success.
Ooh, I thought that was gonna be a 1 for a second.
3 successes.
Yes, baby.
4 successes.
I thought you said there were 4 items.
Yep.
Are there more? Okay.
The 5th one is the arrow that, well, is simply recognized due to its nature.
Oh, I'll try identifying that one.
Sure. See if you can
She's
find
just-
any creatures.
She's just sat down for an hour with a book and like swimming. Like she's got like 3 books in front of her and scrolling through.
Oh gosh.
But well, if you're quick identify though, it's like it might feel like an hour, but it's been about 5 minutes.
Really? Is it 10 minutes? Is that? No, I thought it was.
Normal identify is 10 minutes. You have quick identify, so it takes 1 minute as opposed to 10. So for each item you've done, it's 1 minute.
Right. I was thinking it was 10 minutes instead of an hour. I got it.
Alrighty. So as you are examining these items, they're nothing too out of the norm. Nothing to really stand out awkwardly against. But you're able to figure them out fairly straightforward. The cloak, as you let its cool, gemmed style flow over your hands, is what's known as a Cloak of Repute. A wonderful piece of gear. Gaudy as it is, you get a +1 bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression while wearing this. You gain instant fame and notoriety just putting it on. In fact, if Nestry took that moment to throw it around her shoulders and look at her team saying, "I look damn good," you'd all be thinking, "Damn, yeah, that's a horrible looking cloak, but somehow you rock." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
However, creatures attempting to learn about you gain the same bonus to gather information about you. And it's a basic one, nothing too mad. You can use it once per day. It's a fun piece of equipment. I'll put a list, mind you, of these items in the handouts quickly so you've got them as I'm going through, just so you know what they can do. Because you know I like the magical items. The Cloak of Repute is the first thing you've noticed. The next you've noted is a demon mask. A terrifying mask carved in the visage of a leering demon grants a +1 item bonus to intimidation checks if you're looking to use it. It also can cast a fear spell once per day with a DC of 20. The badge that you found. And I will point out, Neshri can confirm that yes, that magic in that mask is active and will indeed cast a fear spell. As for the badge, well, displaying that prominently makes creatures find you more agreeable. You'd gain a +1 item bonus to diplomacy checks, and once per day you can drop a recall knowledge power-up with a DC 20 to recall knowledge about people of a human ethnicity, a non-human ancestry, or some other type of creature. I basically determine your options. And if you succeed, you get a +2 to diplomacy checks with creatures of that group for the rest of the day. So you see elves, you're like, I'm gonna try the diplomat's badge. What do I know of the elfin people? With a DC 20, you remember the Battle of Hogsmeade Tavern from 200 years ago that they hold to their peoples. I don't know. If ever there was something that almost says, hey look, I'm Devaxian's character on a badge there. There it is. A fun item, I liked it when it came up. And the last item that you find, again, all of these, most assuredly magical, active magical items, is a first level spell version of a wand of continuation. This wand increases a spell's duration. Whenever you cast a spell, because you can activate it once per day, plus overcharge. If it takes 2, it would only cast 1. It'll cost 3, we'll cast 2 actions. Or sorry, double that. If it costs 1 action, it costs 2, and if it costs 2, it now costs 3. And you cast the spell with duration increased by half. No less than 10 minutes, no greater than 1 arrow, though, for the spell. So if you ever really needed to stretch a spell out, that'll give you a longer spell time. And as for that arrow, that piece of ammunition, spell strike ammunition, type 2, not presently holding any spell, however. Fun items. Archive of Nephthys also has all these items fully detailed out, so you'd be able to find them there in full info. And of course, 200 gold. Can't forget the gold. Y'all rich now.
So many.
You know what though, I'm gonna say, you see the oddest stamping on the golden coin. Not something you've seen before, old, worn, and probably from another world entirely. I can't help myself.
I did that in my one shot that I did recently. They found treasure, and it was toonies and loonies.
Oh, that is awesome. The golden toonie.
No, they're just straight up toonies and loonies.
I love it. They'd still be worth something.
They're in the Feywild, so I figure all bets are off in there.
Oh god. You'd make them worth a crap ton because one specific night hag sees it and wants to punch the center out so she can make earrings, and she loves the design. So they're worth like 50 gold a piece or something ridiculous. You could run so many things in the Feywild. Just because they're random. That's why I love my Mad Maggie. Little creatures from the Feywild. She plays golf with them. Jameson, it is not as nice as it sounds when I say she plays golf with them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They are the golf ball.
Yup. Oh, had to run with it though. So there's some goodies for you all to play around with. More gear. As you know, a character in Pathfinder can have up to 10 magical items attached to their character, which is done, I believe, after a long rest. Unless they're just generic magical items that does stuff.
Yeah, you need to invest. I think they call it investing.
Yep.
Yep.
You can have
Split the next
Oh, sorry.
10, I think.
Yep.
So I was just say next long rest we'll be able to. That's some prick. Who wants what?
I love it because they basically are quite literally telling the dungeon master, give the players all the magical items, they will need them. I'm like, no. And they're like, yeah, this boss monster thingy that you put in there, good example of why it would have helped. Like, oh. Oh, goodness. But that was a good little skirmish and some good gear. But like Dean says, who wants what? Feel free to split them up however you'd like.
I might be able to find use for that demon's mask.
Ooh.
What's your intimidation?
It's a +5.
+5. Because I was eyeing up the demon mask as well. Because I got a +9, but I've also got intimidating glare, so I can demoralize people without the need to like speak to them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. I was just looking at for a feat I can take later, but yeah, that's much better.
You can always trade it too.
Yeah.
Demoralizing glare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember one of the first fights we did. I tried to intimidate someone, and I don't think they could understand me. So I picked up the intimidating glare. So I just look at them. I just work quite well with a mask.
Yeah. Go ahead, take it. That'd be great for you.
Cool. Awesome. I just saw that.
Yep.
Oh, pop up.
The whole teacher glare. Out comes the ruler, you know you're in trouble.
The only thing I can really think of is that spell strike thing for me that I would want. Want of continuation is good, but I think maybe Phoenix would have more use for it than I would. Since I have other options besides, like, you almost exclusively do spells where I could do other stuff.
It is fun having Dan with a spell slinger.
Yeah.
Also, I
Is
noticed.
that what you...
Sorry. I was just saying the chat bubbles. I've noticed now pictures get a little oval around them in the chat. They made it look prettier. But I have no intent for the items you get. In fact, I will be honest, there are so many in Pathfinder I'm unfamiliar with. I generally go to a system, I tell it, can you give me a random treasure assortment for this group of levels? And they say, we got you covered, buddy. And then I just look through them and find some good stuff. If it was 5e, I'd be like, I know the exact piece of gear I'm going to get. Or in the high level stuff, it's like, I've looked through some crazy books and found something. Here, Dan, have a lightsaber. Actually, I think it was the dark saber technically that you got, Dan.
Oh my god.
We did it before it was cool, man. He had a lightsaber, but it was a jet black blade, if I recall.
I think we went with... I forget what color we went with, actually.
I can't
Obsidian, probably.
But it was a sunblade turned into something considerably more fearsome and powerful for a rogue to wield. So, Dan had some fun with that. I can't remember the actual blade color now. I'd have to go looking. It's one of the few ways you get sneak attack with a long sword, thankfully. Legit weapon, though.
Crazy part is, Jade went back to get the city, so he technically has the Death Star as well.
You're like, I'm gonna go get that city, and you show up, and it's like, why can't I enter the city? It's warded. There's some bullshit.
I know how to get through the ward. You need to play that song. Good thing I have a wand of orchestra. I now have an orchestra playing that song. Through I go.
Of course, everything's been shuffled drastically. Though I will admit, because of the way everything has worked out, Jade would go to find it and it wouldn't be there. but that's spoiler territory.
Yeah, that's Jade's God quest. The to reclaim the city. All right. Should we start doing some exploring?
Now, you know the area
You can.
you're presently in is fairly capped. There was the crane that would lead down that you know of, and a back way that leads to where you presently are, that I showed with Nestry's token earlier. But outside of that, the only real path left available to you is through the smog.
Yeah. Oh, I see the back way now. Like if we'd jumped over the small area at the very bottom, we could have taken that bridge. Came up behind them. I see.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't blame you in the least.
I blame me.
You tried to be diplomatic and peaceful. You went with the good route. You can never be mad at a character if they decided to go, you know what, the right thing to do here would be to say hello to them. And you did. And they were pirates.
It's going to be real hard on the next group of pirates. We attack on sight, and they're like, "We're good ones."
You'd have one of the pirates looking at the other. They say, "We're good guys now." And the first pirate, "No, shut up." Oh goodness.
I don't know if it's because I'm like mildly hungover today or what, but like I can't fucking draw today. It's really annoying. Like I forgot.
Right.
If it's any consolation, I can never draw.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. Like, I'll be the literal canary and take a step into that, because those pirates, they didn't have any masks or anything, did they?
Not that you saw. They were just running for their lives.
Interesting. I can
No, you're the one that can heal.
That's a good point.
The vaccine starts stuffing black fungus and bits of dried herbs and flowers into the mask he took. But I think this works.
You, Nasri, just like the rolls rise.
You can try a bullshit knowledge check and hope you roll really, really, really high, but you're stepping on Dan's toes at the moment. He'd be the one crafting an N95 mask. Like, here, try this.
His vague knowledge of like a plague doctor's mask. He's like, well, they lived.
Ironically, they think it did act as a filter for them, so you know. They did it because everything smelled like butt, so... If you want to roll your random knowledge check.
I think I have the ability to do that too. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over anybody.
I heard like one little hiccup from Dan for a second. I think he was about to say something.
I have a random rock that has a health pool. We can see if it dies if I throw it in there.
Oh, you're familiar.
Which, by the way, follows familiar rules, so it actually can make perception checks without eyes.
Yep.
Random bullshit.
I'll roll my my knowledge check, but I quite like the rock idea.
You grant her a +2 on any fort saves against gas. Addison's laughing like, situational bonus, yay! Oh goodness. And you throwing that pet rock in there, Dan?
Yeah, I'll drop the pet rock in.
Alright, have it give me a fort save. Against poison damage. Well, actually, how much health does it have?
I'm pretty sure it's 5 at most.
Alrighty. It goes in there. It immediately suffers the pain of the poisonous gas as it inhales it deep and then passes from this world.
Doesn't breathe. It's a rock.
Yeah, I know. But you wanted to know if it was toxic or not, so I'm going to say it was a
Yeah.
porous stone for the sake of finding out if it was deadly toxic. Technically, it's any breathing creature, so you are right that it wouldn't hurt the stone. But I'll give you that information. I have no... Can you just resummon that one? This brings up an interesting question, because that thing doesn't come up nearly often enough.
There's a way for me to get it back, but it takes a while.
So technically, it's not dead. It's in there. And it's just floating around. Yay, fish sticks. Yum.
Well, how did they get through the poison? Were they inoculated? Exposure therapy?
Maybe we'll just find their corpses later.
Let's see. We do have a scroll of restoration, so we can reduce the effects of a toxin once. There is 4 of us.
Wouldn't it? Don't we need that scroll for curing you and Ulag?
Well, we've got restoration and remove disease. So we do still have the we'll still have the ability to remove that disease. If one we need to reduce the poison on someone here. Can we? So I have a question. So we see these clouds of the gas, and then we can see kind of clear areas. Is that just like for like a visual effect, or is there patches of this tunnel where the gas isn't as thick and present?
That's more of a question for the rest of the party on if you want to risk it. Sure, there looks like there might be some gaps. But whether or not they provide any form of safety, well...
Because we could... Is that like an opening we see, like at the end of this tunnel?
Indeed, this tunnel opens and carries on past the gas, but the green fumes make it hard to see that far out. Also, I just learned the hard way that fish sticks do not go well with coffee.
Oh no.
Familiar technically has 20 hit points.
Doesn't breathe though, so the familiar has 20 hit points. Because it's any breathing creature would have trouble. Now, I know some of you are cleverly thinking, if I hold my breath, but it says any breathing creature, so I'll just hit you with it anyway. Because I'm mean.
The holding your breath rules are a lot more I guess realistic than the 5e holding your breath rules, because I think everyone has like a minimum of 3 minutes. Here it's 5 rounds plus your con modifier, so that'll be like 30 seconds.
Oh goodness.
Bum bum bum.
Are you okay?
Oh.
1 second.
We could try something kind of risky.
Alright.
We could see if the gas reacts to fire from see if it can burn it away, but it might cause an explosion.
And this area doesn't exactly seem stable.
Well ventilated.
We could take that mine elevator down to try and find the body of the pirate that the vaccine kicked down, to see if he has anything on him that would suggest how they got through this gas. But there might not be much left of that body. But we could find something on it, potentially.
It's a good idea.
Would that be feasible, Alan?
Depends on how far down that crane would go. Most of the damages in areas mined, as mentioned, you can see are along the wall. You're not even sure that crane's designed to go all the way down to the bottom. Have you heard that smacking plasticky sound in the background? My kiddo's having lunch and she's just giving it to the table.
Happy taps.
Oh yeah, it's fish stick day. You can all make the South Park jokes. My kid loves fish sticks.
There are South Park jokes? No, I don't get the reference.
There's one singular South Park joke about fish sticks.
Oh,
Yeah, I know that one.
And Kanye
I don't know
West. Kanye West. Oh,
Do you know what we call them in the UK?
what was that?
Call them fish fingers.
We call them chicken fingers over here for chicken tenders that are done up like that. But we call fish sticks here.
Yeah. You just try make like a fish finger sandwich with some mushy peas and brown sauce on it.
Ooh, that'd be tasty.
disgusting.
Me and Jillian at the exact same time, exact opposite sides of that spectrum. Oh god.
Nasty.
There's a long-standing old episode of South Park where Jimmy figures out the ultimate joke, and he asks, "Do you like fish sticks?" And of course, say yes, and he responds, "So you're a gay fish?" And everyone's like, "What?" And then they lose it laughing. They're like, "That's so simple." He goes, "I can't believe I didn't think of it." Then some other dude steals it and says he made the joke first, and Kanye West doesn't get the joke. He goes, "I don't understand. Why am I a gay fish? I'm not a gay fish. I'm Kanye West. I'm a genius." And that's the whole episode, is him going against the joke because he doesn't get how stupid the joke is. And in the end, he even goes swimming and kissing with the fishies. He says, "I accept what the fans say about me. I am." I'm like, what? It's a completely ridiculous, over-the-top, crazy, stupid plot from South Park that went down in infamy for being good. So, the joke is, you like fish sticks? Just goes from there. And, I mean, I don't know how dated that would be now, but it's still a funny episode. Just because of Kanye West and ripping on Kanye. Because he's like the one person you can insult and make fun of, and I think no one's going to care. They're going to be like, he ripped on that Taylor Swift. It's not been cool since then.
Well, Kanye will care, but he's the only one.
My god, if he comments on my channel for having this one video, he's like, "You insulted me while you were getting near the lunchtime break on that one, and I don't appreciate it. I am not a gay fish." And I'd be like, "Bro, you don't get the joke." Why don't you just get the joke?
That would make the joke even better.
Oh, South Park. I don't know. Okay, I've had myself a little tangent. You've got advantage on a fort save against the toxic gas, for Jillian's character anyway. And beyond that, you've got toxic gas and what appears to be possible small pockets of safety within it. From as back as far as you all are now, where you've been investigating this for about 10 minutes or so, go ahead and roll me those good old perception checks. And I'm just going to skip 10 minutes on the timer because the clock hasn't been ticking. But I've been pretty accurate. It was close to 2 o'clock now, it's almost 4 o'clock since you've all dealt with these issues. And as Phoenix stares through the smoke, along with the vaccine, both of them probably discussing this, Deacon, meanwhile, too busy playing with that cool-looking mask. And he puts it up, puts it down, he's like, this is so cool. So, getting a 12 on perception. Despite the fact that you're an expert in it and you're supposed to be one of the big bads for it. Because, the dice giveth and they taketh away.
I don't see shit.
Nestry saying, that is a really cool mask, bro. The two of you standing in the back even makes better sense. Sometimes the dice are beautiful. But looking into this area, you can see plumes of green flame jetting out from the walls itself, igniting and letting off the sulfurous gas that burns through the air. A somewhat natural process, it would seem, creating these horrid fumes.
All right. Yeah, just making a note of that.
No.
Everyone's staring at this one like, dang it. Well, tell you what, to give you all a little bit of extra time to think on this one, since we're spot on at 12, normally we go a little after. Did we want to take a quick 15-20 minute break here? Because my kiddo's about to eat food and you can hear her in the background getting happy, and that's going to be loud. And you can all plan on some way to do something about this smog, or at least bolster your defenses against it. And I will add, Devaxian with their 27 is noting what appears to be a body lying in the smog, quite the ways out at the edge of your vision, but you can't clearly make it out. But getting a critical pass on that perception check with the 27, well, someone
All right.
didn't make it through.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Jillian's
Okay.
like, I knew it. So we'll take a quick break here, because this is a good spot to pause for lunch, and we'll come back in about 15-20. And that way things are good.
All right. Sounds good.
And we'll see you all shortly.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
See you in a bit.
And as we jump back in after a nice snazzy lunch break, the mystery. Now that you've had some time to think on the issue and play around with it, what's the team's attempts? I mean, we've got those shields that you can grab that you mentioned, but they're very much not magic hand related. You're gonna have to actually carry those. Multiple holes,
Yeah.
multiple jetting flames of noxious gas. What's that?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, before stepping into the gas, I'd probably try and chuck at least one of them. See if it can, like, at least snuff the flame a little bit. But, I mean, there should be enough rocks around and stuff that if we need to run in, we could probably just, like, plant one in, and might do a better job than the shield.
Did you want to throw it at it?
Sorry?
Did you want to throw the shield at the flame?
if people don't mind. I'm in my head. I got my Baldur's Gate 3 solution to things on, which is like throwing things that might work.
No.
I can Captain America that shit because I have telekinetic projectile, which can do one bulk, and I can extend the range to 60 feet, so I can, in fact, throw the shield at it.
Oh
Might as
yeah,
well give it a shot.
yeah, and I guess your telekinetic projectile, probably a good chance it's more accurate than a throw as well.
Oh yeah, you'd be doing an improvised weapon, which gives you a -2 as a simple weapon, and a number of other things. And it says basically beyond that, everything else is up to the dungeon master. As for telekinetic projectile, well, as Devaxian's probably lining this up, holding one of the shields, balancing like, yeah, I think, and he's like stretching the arm out, practicing the throw. You probably just see Phoenix twiddling fingers as one is spinning above their head, you know what I mean? A little stretch for the abilities of telekinetic projectile, but you know. A magic spell attack roll against the enemy is going to probably be a lot better than improvised.
Is that what we want to try?
Yeah, that or I imagine a rock would be like a 1 to 2 foot rock is probably heavier than one bulk, so it's worth a shot.
There's also a chance, since I'm making it an attack roll to hit it, I could knock the top off of it, and rocks can come out and kill the party. And just make the hole bigger.
Well, there's 2 tunnels.
Okay, I just want before I make the stuff.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot. Otherwise, I think we're looking at running in there and trying to plug it somehow ourselves. So, it's worth if we can try and dampen it a little boost before we go in. I reckon it's worth a shot.
I do gotta say, for Pathfinder though, the image that they use for the rock is a little more brutal. Just because of how big they are.
Guys,
Does get
no, stop. That's a mammoth. Is that Lulu in mammoth form? We need
It's
to.
brown. I made sure it was brown, otherwise, you know, Dan would be running with like fork and pitchforks and all that stuff ready. And this character would be like, I don't even know why I'm so mad, but I'm furious.
I think putting in the mammoth is a great touch because it really gets that sense of scale in there.
Yup. When a
God.
mammoth looks helpless.
Damn, yeah.
There's another one where it's carrying a dolphin, for God's sakes. Actually, I'm gonna pull that one up because there's just some dude staring at it as it's flying by like, what the hell? But with a 27 on that spell attack, that's gonna be a critical pass. You spin that shield through the air and slam it, covering the hole, which leads to the fire and the gas stopping on that one. So I'm actually going to disable the light from that and give it a slightly different effect. Where's my hexadome when I need it? There we go. And instead of being colored green, we're going to swap that to blue.
Nice, dude.
I am not even quite seeing it on my map. So you know what? I'm just going to turn it off. Too many other light sources causing that one to be wonky, so... But you have successfully cut that one down. I popped the force grid on there because out of everything that I could, this seems to be the most effective. Everything else it's hard to see with all the extra map effects, but you know, I got the fancy lighting. Let's use the fancy lighting. With that, you do see a reduction in the amount of smoke immediately in that area. With a successful fort save, you imagine you might be able to hop straight through to that safe spot in the midst of all that.
Okay, that's good.
And technically, there's a number of shields lying around. I'll say half a dozen or so. In rough shape, probably wouldn't be the greatest for battle, but for this improvised purpose, well, you imagine successful checks might be able to assist if you wanted to try and plug more of those fire holes that you see.
It's just a matter of me getting in range to throw a shield in Captain America.
Yeah, it's you say you've got 60 feet on that?
If I take a full round of action, yes.
Right.
It's 2 actions to cast the spell and 1 action to extend the range to 60.
Right, okay. Cool. And that's like the only fire we can see like at this part of the tunnel.
Yep, though I will say, since I moved Deacon over as shields were being picked up, I'm going to move your token again. There was another here that you could see. Any further out than that, as you can see by the stretch here, are a little outside of your 60-foot range.
Yeah.
But there's one last fire over on that side that could easily be mitigated with your ability.
Yeah, may as well give it a shot, see if it clears up the area even further for us.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just go over and try again on the other side.
Alright. So you go ahead and give that attack roll a spin. "16's a success on that. So I'll go ahead and toss another light source on. Weird. Trying to copy paste the light source is just being cranky about it. Well, I'll just do it by hand again. But you do successfully turn that one out. The amount of smoke and grime in the area around you, again, decreasing, but you can still see it rolling across the ground. Less volume, but still there. As that shield spins out and slams comfortably into the ground, sealing another fissure.
Shall we move up and try the others, or do we want to wait?
I feel like we should Probably move up. I feel like we've probably did like in game terms, probably as much as we can do to like reduce the hazard at least. I mean, we could potentially like wait for the gas to dissipate, but I don't know how long that would take if there's no ventilation here. I can go first if we want to see how bad it will be.
Let's see how bad I fail these fortitude saves.
Alright. Phoenix is gonna charge forward, right as the vaccine saying, well, I suppose I can't. Phoenix just takes off, dust twisting around as they go, and indeed, give me a fort save as you run to the safety of the shield that you've placed. As you can clearly see, another jetting flame nearby. As you make your way out, the weakened poison gas you successfully save against and only take half, a whopping 3 points of damage from a very small inhale, leaving you to cough a bit, but otherwise unharmed. As you make it inside of this safe zone, you can see another fire burning nearby, and 2 more on a rather precarious stone walk that leads above a gigantic pool some 30-40 feet below of putrid green liquid.
Well, I'll grab a shield and block off this one right here.
Give a shot to the roll for that one.
Do I need to roll that, or am I close enough I can just physically put it there?
Oh, if you walk up to it, you're going to be rolling checks. $18 is a success as well. You do seal it off. Yeah, it does not want me copy-pasting light sources right now for some reason. It's been a day. I shouldn't try and trust computers. Even my phone now is saying, I have an update. It's like everything. But we'll put the usual force grid on top of that with a nice red cherry coating so that you can see that this too has sealed it, and the amount of gas rolling from this area quickly dissipates to a point that anything back no longer rolls checks to move forward. The gas no longer fills this area.
Then I'll go after the other 2 unless someone has any opposition to that.
None at all.
Not for me.
Well, you've got 3 shields left, and shooting attacks at them with the telekinetic projectile where they sit so close to the edge of this pathway could mean a shield missing could fall down into the drink below. So basically, you can mess up one time.
And so we're free to move up beside him.
Yep. Essentially, you can all freely move up to about the red line at the most. As that's, as you can see, this is where the smog kicks back in, and that stuff's deadly. And I'll bring Nestri up as well.
Oh.
Actually, I'm doing the lazy thing. I'm going to have her follow behind the vaccine to make it easier for you, Jillian.
Thank you.
What is that thing over there?
Glancing off towards the side, as what appears to be a large container with a mechanical apparatus for pumping seems to have drained some of the liquid from below into a large reservoir, of which smog slowly filters out from. The noxious gas, the same ahead of you, seems to be coming from the concentrated liquid to the left as well. Looks like somebody was trying to use this gunk for some other purpose.
Oh, I forgot to ask, but before we throw any more shields, do any of these shields have shield bosses on them? These little attachments that are used to attack and such?
Nothing special out of the ordinary for them. Regular steel shields. Nice, heavy, and dense, but not much special. They're also in roughly worn condition. They would require repair to even be useful in combat. But unfortunately, no fancy attachments for the shields.
Thank you, just thought I'd check.
Well, 2 more torches remain lit from holes in the ground.
Oh.
As you throw that shield with a clatter and a clash, it flies through the air and drops with a blub as it strikes the thick, green, gelatinous liquid far below, before sinking down to the murky depths.
We got 2 left.
Don't forget, you have hero points. Heck, as I
Yeah.
promised, you have 2 hero points this session.
Oh, right, we have 2 hero points. I'll redo that one with a hero point then.
Alright.
I
Burn one of the hero points. Oh, sorry, Dan, you go ahead.
said I just forgot we had 2 this session.
It was an arse-kicking boss fight last session. I had to reward you.
Well, after the arse kicking that I received last session, I'm like, no matter what, hold 1 hero point. That's my emergency oh fuck button.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's your Morse code, that one. 17 is successful for blocking the one on the left. And if you want to shoot for the other one now, you still have 2 shields left. And a 24 is successful in blocking the one on the right. And as you do, everyone give me a quick perception check. I'll tip my hat to Dan on that one.
Rolling rocks right now.
As the Vaxian's patting you on the back, as Nestri's probably cheering on a little bit too, both of you pretty happy. Deacon, however, and Phoenix would both stop in their tracks, as you can feel that cluttered ground beneath yourself beginning to rumble. Now, as the smog dissipates, I will say, you see bodies up ahead, 2 of them. The guards that were with that one lone surviving pirate, both lying dead in the smog, and clutched between their hands, you can see what appears to be a rudely carved out mask, not unlike you would see a doctor for death wearing. But as you find yourself staring around, as you look to the fetid pool nearby, and as the ground begins to rumble, your characters would notice far, far back in this area, where it looks like that's where they were copy-pasting my lights now that I see the red markers. So I'm just going to delete all dozens of those. An explosion of fire erupts, filling the main canyon area of this zone, as the ground behind you begins to crumble and crack and break, tearing open like the land spitting as a fissure of fire and hell burn through it. You'd also notice the lake far down below, a sheen of fire rippling across the top of it as well. The source of the natural burning gas would appear to be the exceedingly flammable lake below, now exploding in vicious fashion and charging right at the party. You have but moments before you should be running in this direction. unless you want to be engulfed by whatever hellfire you have just unleashed. Because with all of those exhaust ports plugged, the fire had no other way to go but down, back the way it came from.
I mean, so we're running, right?
Now,
Yeah.
there were the 2 guards whose bodies were here. Investigating those in any fashion might take a moment, but it's up to the team. As that explosion is basically breaking through the ground at this exact moment, you'd have Phoenix and Deacon more or less saying, guys, oh shit, you know what I mean? That 1 round worth of moments before you start running, or you
I
run
moved.
for a head start.
Probably take the head start.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'm not getting exploded today. I moved a bit too far. Should I just move my speed?
Oh, that's fine for as far as you moved. At the moment, you're fighting against more or less. I could even go like this with the map and make it look more thematical and say, cutscene moment, get ready, you know? But
Yeah.
your position isn't overly important as strictly your character's decisions. You're the only tokens on the map at the moment. So unless somebody wanted to risk an Indiana Jones moment as they reach back for that hat to explore what the guards might have had, or
I
you've
think
run.
after the party's brush with death, the vaccine is just thinking there'll be more guards. Run.
But what if these guys have the proof that we need that our friend did not commit the crime and it was a setup?
That is true.
Sorry to be devil's advocate, but
We know though that there's only the bodies of the 2 guards here, so there's at least one of them still left alive. So we still have a chance to find him and like get a confession or some information out of him.
alright, head start it is.
Well, at least I know Devaxin would be just too freaked out to think of anything other than just run.
Alright. Well, as tempted as the team was to explore these, with the whole of this mine exploding and collapsing around you all, you take off as fast as you can move, as fast as you can run, your heels carrying the wind, at least you pray, behind yourselves as you try to find peace from this storm. Everyone, give me a reflex save.
Oh, my wounded condition. My wounded condition is gone for the rest.
Yeah. 'Cause you got the healing. Every time you do that, it removes 1 point of the wounded condition.
Okay, fantastic. Thank
I
you.
think I'm going to use a hero point reroll mine.
Oh goodness.
Yes. I know how to roll things. Pathfinder. No, I don't. I'm gonna also use a hero point.
Oh my god,
That's better.
is half the party rolled 2 1s?
Goodness.
I really do wonder about like the algorithm, because there was another time where I rolled a check and you rolled a check and we both got 18s. It's like, does it just get stuck on a number it's gonna give you?
I really think I don't want to fail this, so I'm gonna burn my last hero point and reroll it.
Alright.
Okay, 24. I'll take it.
So as the ground trembles and breaks, as the area around you shudders, as flames of fire jet and explode, you all manage to stay steps ahead of it as the fires lick at your heels. You get the imagination that if you hadn't immediately start running, you definitely would have been struck by some of that fire, some of the debris, or something of the sort, as every second that you have just taken made all the difference in the world. But you all successfully stay ahead of that burning fire and the explosion, which soon leaves you in a roughly cut tunnel, dimly lit by the rare torch. You don't really find anyone else there, however. Just a long, cold walk in the dark. Now, I don't think any of you need a moment's rest or anything of that sort, but you did have any prep or anything you wanted to do, now's probably your ideal time for doing it.
Are we still running ahead of the fire?
Nope, your successful runs and your
All right,
decision to
okay.
leave early have granted you the time that you needed.
Alright, sorry, I just
Mind you,
was
going
clarifying.
back would mean fire. So you've
Yeah.
only got one direction you can travel, but you're not immediately in a negative spot. You've got a few minutes to decide what exactly you want to do.
Hmm. Well, I guess the only thing I can offer is to like hold the torch for the party, or we could go along in the dark and try and sneak.
Just got a BRB
for
right
tunnel.
quick.
Yep.
No worries. Or I say we could look for tracks of the pirate that may have ran through here, but if there's only one tunnel, like it would make sense that it came this way. Yeah.
The Doctor Who reference. Wibbly wibbly wobbly. No, thank you.
I just anytime I think of a character running, for some reason it must be like a childhood thing. I just hear David Tennant just shouting, "Run!"
Oh God.
I think because the vaccine wears a long coat as well. It's just like, yeah, fits.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
True.
No, that's true.
Your brain could think, ooh, shiny, go touch it.
Boom, boom, boom. Just while we're waiting for Jameson to get back, I was gonna messing around with AI again. I was going to send you a updated picture to use for the vaccine.
Oh yeah.
No rush to get it in. We're almost at the end of the
algorithms
session.
Have gotten very strong.
Yeah.
Heck.
Welcome back. Oh wow, yeah, the algorithms have gotten strong. That collar though, that's like Final Fantasy grade clothing. I love it.
Yeah, I want like a big like Bloodborne fantasy style coat. I'm like, it's going to be like his main feature. His coat.
I wonder if this would work for the character itself, if I can be lazy and cross-link it using the Discord image and not have to do a lot of work. No, you're certainly not an ancient gold dragon. I clicked on the wrong thing there.
Well, this character certainly can't do that anymore.
Hey, it worked. Yeah, no.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh god. The way some of these magical items are going, you're not wrong.
Random bullshit go. Everyone believes he's a dragon now, disguised in human form.
I do have quite a high deception.
Okay, so I'm going to take that racial ability that lets me see through all shape changers. Got it.
Yup. Wait, where did my voice just go? Oh, there it is. I've been keeping track of every time I've ever had a player play in any of my game and all of their tokens and all of their characters. Because I make custom tokens for them, I've kept track of all of them in one singular pile. That was my 170th. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Eventually, I'm gonna stop using random NPCs and just use this folder for my NPCs. Everyone looks epic that way. And I was able to cross-link for your character. So I didn't have to do anything other for your picture.
Yeah, it worked, but updated the character sheet real quick. I was expecting to have to refresh or something, but just did it on the fly. That's pretty cool.
Because I didn't overwrite the original, I gave it a new name. I've noticed if you don't do that, you gotta reload. And as for your token, let's see if that worked for a quick update on your token. Yeah, it did, but I'll worry about that next time we swap maps, which isn't too far off. After all, you're in a dark tunnel, winding straight ahead to your next location, obviously. But you have the advantage of rest, in case the party wanted to do or add anything.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm canonically dumb, so I don't have any crafting or skills to add. So whatever you guys want, I'm cool with.
Well, if anyone needs anything repaired, I can do that. But I don't think we have enough time for me to sit for the next 8 hours and restore my spells.
I would be a little bit hesitant to rest, like go to sleep, given how we're next to a fairly large fire that may or may not get worse. Who knows?
We lit that to keep ourselves warm.
I brought these things called marshmallows.
John's
I got
character is like,
and he has the fighting fork, so we have the multiple prongs sticking out. We can have a good time.
poor John, his character comes back. He's like, I'm gonna jump down this hole here and catch up with the rest of the party. Right as the explosion hits it, just catches up all. He got 3 health, and he's just looks like a burnt matchstick. He's like, hey everyone, what's going on?
Guys, where did the fire come from? Well, we thought we were doing good.
Oh goodness. So then, unless anyone has any buffs or any healing they wanted to do, I do believe... Oh no, they're still just listed at 3 off. I thought we healed you back up to full. Did you take damage again, Dan?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Damage from the gas. I guess we could heal him with treat wounds, getting that free back.
10 minutes.
I definitely don't mind if you want it, Dan.
Sure. Maybe you want to take the 10 minutes.
I think if we're taking 10 minutes, you get your focus spell back, right?
Never used it.
Oh, you never used it. I like the focus kind of stuff for some classes. So you've always got like a little something that you can do.
Do you want me to roll the d8s, or do you want to roll them yourself, or
Oh, you
Alan,
can
do you
roll
want
them.
to roll them?
Since it's just the one check. I was pretty much just being a helper last time.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Can you do less than 3 points of healing?
I tried!
You were close.
Goodness, that was
Minimal
very,
healing.
very close.
Minimal healing!
Oh, this is such a good part of the podcast.
Well, a quick bout
I'm
of
gonna
healing.
BRB.
Alrighty. Quick bout of healing to Phoenix. Brings your character up to par, Dan. And beyond that, the only way to go would be forward.
Yeah. Should we use a light source or try and sneak up without one? Well, or not so much sneak up because we don't know if we're sneaking up on anything, but just like try and go unseen.
Well, you know, after walking for 10-15 minutes, you would be seeing light and hearing the commotion of voices near the end of the tunnel, but too broad and too many to pick anything out specifically. Clatter and chatter, as it were. Stealth might be something to look at this point.
Yeah, sure. It's worth a shot. Try to be sneaky. I guess we'll go without a light source and then I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I did stealth in Pathfinder 3.
Technically, I'm supposed to roll it, but no. So, if you have cover or greater cover or anything of the sort like that, you get the bonuses of that to your roll, but it's your stealth check against the perception DC of each creature that you're observed by.
Yeah, for some reason in my head I was trying to go, do they roll perception against their stealth DC, or is it the other way around?
Oh,
and
other way. Yep.
I had it backwards in my head.
They like having the players roll before they have the monsters roll, which I appreciate. It's more fun for the click-clack dice to come from the players. But then they say the DM does the stealth roll. It's like, no, thank you. I am lazy. That is the player's job.
Yes, the players like to make the magic math rocks go clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
Yes, exactly. That's half the fun.
So we would be doing a sneak, and then which would trigger the stealth roll.
And
That's
that's
just
open to anyone who wants to roll said stealth check.
I would like to roll, but I just have a quick question.
Yep.
So it's probably been an hour, or at least over once, so I can probably use Nanite Surge again.
Yep.
But the question is, I give off dim light for 1 round. If I were to do that,
Oh,
I
that'd be bad
assume
stuff.
that wouldn't be helpful, right?
It would counterbalance. Someone would be like, why is the wall shimmering?
Just thought I'd check before I made the roll. Alright.
Oh, I think I overstressed my browser while doing a couple things in the background and it pooped a brick. So I might have to reload the table myself, but that's a small step.
alright. I'll Oh, Fergus. Oh, Jesus.
What did he do?
He just came into my office and farted.
Ah,
Like, turned around pointed his backside at me and just let rip.
He went full Beyblade.
Absolutely rotten. Oh, why does my roll come out as private?
Sorry, should I roll stealth as well?
The team's planning on sneaking because near the end of the tunnel, they saw light. And they hear a collector and a commotion and don't really want to be messing with that.
Okay, I don't know why my stealth roll is private. That's... Roll mode blind GM roll? Why would that be selected?
And make it visible though, at least.
Yeah. I can see... I can just see options to re-roll. I can just roll again, or can you reveal it as the GM?
I can't see it. They do block it from me as well.
That's like, because I can't see it either. It's question marks to me, so it's like I rolled as the GM but don't have permissions to do anything with it. That's weird. Or it comes up when whatever part, like the sneak thing I'm doing, it's when I'm clicking through it in the compendium, it's coming up as blind GM roll, like as default.
Oh. So it might be forcing it and causing you trouble.
Yeah, but I can just do it from like another part of the character sheet. Strange though. Strange. Anyway, no matter.
It's been a day for systems. They work fast on a Sunday, but they don't work right.
Because everyone that works on them and it prepares them is taking the day off.
You know what I was doing? I was looking at actions at sneak and reading a bit from there. I wasn't doing it from my proficiencies, so that's probably why. So there is a mystery. It's so stealthy that no one will ever know what it is.
Well, everyone's acing those stealth rolls. So this is a good sign. Because, things get sketchy fairly quick when the team gets caught mid-session with things.
Wrong button. I wasn't doing a Kieran. I hit F12 instead of print screen.
Oh, goodness. Oh, to pull that. No, you gotta dig deeper than that to trigger that.
Oh, right. I didn't know if you got a warning, like, straight away.
No. I don't know if I have that switched on for this version, because things get a little wonky sometimes with Pathfinder. If you dig too deep, it gets very cranky. Goes full Mordor on you.
Okay, I see. Just going to share that in the off-topic general, just like because I don't have any options to reveal that.
Fair.
Very weird.
You'd think normally you could right-click and get it through, but they're being cranky.
Yeah.
As is expected. I mean, nothing worse than deleting my tokens out too, so I don't have the pretty pictures on them, but I make a whole bunch and paste them in. Makes life just as fun. Speaking of which, I do have a rather wonderful surprise for the team, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on my view for a quick minute on the stream, if anyone wants to peek at Discord. There we go. Because as you come to the end of this walkway, there are indeed voices that would be catching your attention as the ocean breaks into this next zone, and you'd see something rather massive about yourselves.
I was wondering how they got here.
Docked back on in this dreary and dark cove, you'd get to see their vessel. However, they most assuredly are not alone. As you see dozens of these pirates already lined up comfortably in this area. Now, mind you, they all have this ogre orc face on them, but I have a boatload of pirate tokens. I'm going to load over those. That'll probably be a for next week thing, given the time left in today's game. But pirates everywhere, and a rather large, beautiful seafaring vessel. And of course, lots of beautiful looking pirates on that vessel. Many, many different ones. But what might be catching everyone's attention, because hidden as you are in the shadows and the approach to this area, you have a bird's eye view as the path drops down to get towards them. So everybody give me perception checks.
What?
Hear that
What?
music?
I couldn't even hear it.
Yeah, it's come through the mic.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys.
I only heard the slight hiccup once or twice of your music coming through, but then I hear Dean in the background. Your music! Oh, goodness.
You said
Nope.
a perception check, right?
Everybody gets a perception check as you scan eyes across these less than scrupulous looking fellows. Though not entirely male. There are women there as well. But unscrupulous fellows in and of itself is a quote. And the Vaxian's new token has them distracted. They're just looking at themselves like, I got super pretty, what happened?
I wonder, because hero points don't carry through, right? We'll just start next session with the 1.
Yep. Always
And we've
reboot
only
the
got-
one at the start, so you know.
We've only got 5 minutes of this session left, so I feel like I should probably use it rather than lose it. Alright.
Alright. As Devaxian is staring at his reflection, even has a mirror up doing the kissy face like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm looking real good. Because you know, you've got a new character token. I get to play it up just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to load that one up for the full view on the camera itself for the sec to make sure the recording gets it, because it looks nice. And I think if I click the buttons in the right direction, it will let me share it with the team. Yeah, there we go. He's seen some shit now. Last time we saw his character didn't look quite so serious. Now, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow and it's not even 7:30. As Deacon leans over and taps the vaccine on the shoulder and points. Because I was going to send this as a message to Jameson, because he was the only one who would have noticed. The captain of this seafaring vessel looks oh so incredibly familiar to the group of you. You can't help but recognize those pointed elf ears and that slight sideways sneer of a smile on their face. Their eyes would turn directly towards the group as well, not noticing you, but just, to make the cutscene look that much cooler, as without shadow of a doubt, the captain on the boat is the mayor.
Plan? Was he just deep cover all along?
Now let me just step back for a second and say, Jillian, sometimes you'll do things, you say, no, this is happening, I have to do this for my character. A perfect example, you're like, please let me check the body. You remember, you know without shadow of a doubt, he was dead.
So, like, twins, perhaps?
And just wipe a tear away from my eye. Big smile on my face.
Or what about something more like a doppelganger or something,
Could be.
like a shapeshifter.
Don't they revert back to natural form once they die?
Or this guy is a doppelganger. And they kill the OG mayor. But
Yeah,
wait,
maybe, like-
no, because the timeline was messed up. Oh, right, because we would have seen the other guy.
What if like they snatched the mayor, killed him, and were like, we talked to the doppelganger,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they're like, oh well, we're going to set these guys up to cover up whatever it is we're doing,
Yeah.
and we'll set them up, and then I'll disappear, and he's like still in form. Am I overthinking it too much? Is it a bit of a stretch? Who knows? But it's a fantasy world.
Could this solve our travel problems?
Hey.
A shit.
Yeah.
Guys, forget this caravan. Follow us.
Well, we could bring the caravan with us.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I mean. We're like, ditch them
Oh, yeah.
carts.
we have
How do we get them?
a pragmatic mindset.
This also explains why no one went near the mayor's house. They purposely kept them away so that they could do the smuggling.
That's true. I feel kind of bad though when Alan was talking about like he'd set up other stuff around the town for us to investigate, but we just blindly stumbled into the route we were supposed to take.
Yup. And that's fine. That's half the fun of it. You always got the pieces, but definitely, as you're wondering, are they smuggling from the town? Well, at the moment, they seem to be very quickly loading a lot of their goods onto their ship. Multiple pieces of various pieces of barley and food and many different things probably lifted from said town. After all, apparently the mayor's the captain of these pirates. A nice cushiony spot when you want to do some thieving, isn't it?
This guy.
He's responsible for the raids on the city. That's how he gets the supplies out. He gets the pirates to come raid, and then he makes himself the hero, and he's the leader of it all. It's all a big scheme.
Yeah. Yes, this guy reassured the vaccine that he was really one of the Elven, and it's all meaningless. It's a fraud.
Well, the plot thickens.
That's a lot of pirates though, innit? That's a lot of guys.
Whole area is filled with these pirates. Lots of them just wandering around and moving some goods. Constantly stepping on and off the boat from the main pier there. Admittedly, from your line of sight, you can see a good chunk of them, but many of them probably back behind some of the deeper areas inside this cove. But I think that small revelation that the mayor is apparently still alive and a captain pirate, that's a good spot for us to take a pause for a week, eh?
Yeah, that's a good ending point.
But I'm not gonna lie, Dean, you are spot on. There were a lot of other places that had a lot of other small points to get a lot of other pieces for this plot going. But the team has gone speedrunner mode on it, and that's not too bad. Heck, there was a whole different way to get you in here. That was the out route, where you were going to be jumped by that thing coming at you, and it was a runaway pattern. No? You all went the back way in. You found the secret back door. I give the slow clap for that one. That was fun to watch.
You know what the tragedy of it all is if we were trying to do it quickly, we would still be in the town. We'd still be in like the inn or something like that. If we were trying.
It was partially inspired by a whodunit murder mystery, just a little bit.
And we just said, nah, let's investigate the well.
Love it. Oh, goodness. You can never predict the way things are gonna go. Prep for things and be ready. But you can never predict the way things are gonna go. I love it. Makes for a fun time for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and I won't be able to attend next week's session. I'm going to HalCon.
Oh, right. That's right. It's the Halloween weekend. Well, let's take next week off because I'm sure John's still gonna be out. It's only week 3 for him, so... You know. So we'll take a pause for next week's game, and we'll kick back in 2 weeks on the 5th for our next session, where the team will have to figure out what they're going to do about this pirate ship.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds good.
Jillian has her bets right now. She says, gimme. Admittedly, you definitely could if you can deal with the pirates presently on board.
Yeah. But Jillian, is next week the Sunday you have a driving lesson?
He's gonna get back to me, but we'll see if we can make it work.